They sang about heartbreak, hope, faith, and freedom. But behind the spotlight, many of country music's biggest stars were fighting battles of their own, silent, painful, and all too human. From stadium anthems to quiet hymns, their voices became the soundtrack of our lives. But what happened when the music stopped? In this video, we uncover the heartbreaking final chapters of 20 legendary country artists who died from devastating diseases. Their stories are raw, emotional, and unforgettable. Stay with us, because behind every song is a soul, and some stories deserve to be told to the very last note. Country music has always had a way of reaching deep into the soul. It's about truth, struggle, faith, and the kind of heartbreak that never fully leaves you. But behind the powerful voices and legendary hits, many country stars faced private battles that most fans never saw. This is the story of 20 country icons who didn't just leave behind timeless songs, but also unforgettable legacies carved in pain, courage, and the fight against disease. Let's begin with number 20. 20. Joey Feek, a voice of faith and farewell. Joey Feek, of the beloved duo Joey plus Rory, embodied warmth, faith, and fierce determination. With her husband Rory by her side, she sang about love, family, and the strength of belief. After giving birth to their daughter Indiana in 2014, Joey was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Surgery and treatment gave hope, but the cancer returned aggressively. Doctors gave her no more options. Joey chose to live out her last days at home, wrapped in love, courage, and music. She passed away in March 2016 at just 40. Her songs and spirit still move millions. 19. Don Williams, the Gentle Giant's final goodbye. Known to millions as the Gentle Giant, Don Williams was more than just a country singer. He was a calming presence in a world full of noise. With his signature laid-back style, soft-spoken demeanor, and songs that wrapped around you like a warm blanket, Don created music that made people feel seen, comforted, and understood. Hits like It Must Be Love, Tulsa Time, and Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good weren't just chart toppers. They were life companions for fans across generations. Born in Floydada, Texas, in 1939 and raised in the small town of Portland, Don's life was grounded in simplicity and humility from the very beginning. Before embarking on his solo career, he was part of a folk pop trio called the Pozo Seco Singers in the 1960s. Though they had modest success, Don's real breakthrough came when he launched his solo career in the early 1970s. From there, he quickly became one of country music's most beloved figures, with 17 #1 hits and countless awards to his name. But despite his success, Williams never chased fame. He avoided the flashy lifestyle that many in the industry embraced. Don was a family man, a deeply private individual who preferred quiet moments on his farm to red carpets and interviews. He rarely gave press, and when he did, his answers were brief and thoughtful. What he didn't say in words, he delivered through his songs. As he grew older, Don faced serious health challenges. Diagnosed with emphysema, a chronic lung condition, his breathing became increasingly difficult. In 2016, he officially retired from music, canceling his tour dates and retreating from the spotlight. On September 8, 2017, he passed away peacefully at age 78. His death sparked a wave of tributes from fans and artists around the world. Many described him as a once-in-a-lifetime voice, one that brought peace to troubled hearts. To this day, his music continues to be a source of comfort. Whether you're driving a lonely highway, missing someone you love, or simply needing something gentle to get you through the day, Don Williams' voice still feels like home. 18. Toby Keith, the patriot who fought till the end. With his deep baritone and bold lyrics, Toby Keith was unapologetically American. From Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue to How Do You Like Me Now, his music stood tall and proud. But in late 2021, Toby was diagnosed with stomach cancer. Even during treatment, he surprised fans with performances, holding on to his music even as his body failed. He passed away on February 5, 2024, at age 62. A patriot, a performer, and a fighter until the end. 17. Charley Pride, a trailblazer lost to the pandemic. Charley Pride didn't just sing country music, he transformed it. As the first black superstar of the genre, his voice broke boundaries with hits like Kiss and Angel Good Morning and Mountain of Love. He was honored with award after award, yet always stayed humble. In November 2020, Charlie gave his final performance at the Country Music Awards. Not long after, he contracted COVID-19. He passed away on December 12, 2020, at age 86. A legend silenced not by time, but by a virus. 16. Glenn Campbell, the Rhinestone Cowboys battle with time. Few artists captured hearts across genres like Glenn Campbell. A guitar virtuoso, TV star, and singer of classics like Rhinestone Cowboy and By the Time I Get to Phoenix, he was unforgettable. But in 2011, Glenn revealed he had Alzheimer's. Rather than retreat, he embarked on a farewell tour, facing memory loss with bravery and grace. He died on August 8, 2017 at 81, but his final act of transparency inspired a world struggling to understand a cruel disease. 15. Tammy Wynette, the pain behind Stand By Your Man. Tammy Wynette, the First Lady of country music, gave the world iconic songs of heartbreak and resilience. Her health, however, was a lifelong battle. From gastrointestinal issues to endless surgeries, she lived in constant pain. Still, she recorded, performed, and inspired. Tammy passed away on April 6, 1998, at just 55. Her cause of death was heart failure worsened by her chronic health conditions. Yet her legacy remains one of unmatched strength. 14. Hank Snow, the Canadian cowboy with a soldier's legacy. From Nova Scotia to Nashville, Hank Snow rode his way into country history with hits like I've Been Everywhere and I'm Moving On. Soldiers even coined the term "pull a Hank Snow" for sudden retreats. But in his later years, his health began to fail. Heart disease and breathing problems wore him down. On December 20th, 1999, at age 85, he passed away. Yet his influence on the genre and even military culture remains unmatched. 13. Ray Price, the velvet voice who redefined country. Ray Price didn't follow the trends, he created them. From honky-tonk to orchestral country, he evolved without losing soul. Diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2012, he fought valiantly but eventually chose peace at home with his family. Ray passed on December 16, 2013, at age 87. He left behind more than a voice. He left a blueprint for how country music can grow. 12. Eddie Arnold, the Tennessee Plowboys' slow goodbye. Eddie Arnold, with his smooth baritone, brought country music into millions of homes. He was the kind of voice that made you feel like everything was going to be okay. But as he aged, Eddie battled severe arthritis, memory loss, and breathing issues. He passed on May 8, 2008, just shy of 90. His peaceful departure reflected the calm he always brought into people's lives. 11. George Jones, the voice that carried pain. George Jones didn't just sing songs, he lived them. His battles with addiction were as famous as his hits like He Stopped Loving Her Today. In his final years, respiratory issues made life harder. Hospital visits became frequent. On April 26, 2013, at age 81, he took his final breath. But his voice still chills us to the bone. 10. Roger Miller, the king of country wit. Roger Miller made us laugh with songs like Dang Me and King of the Road, but behind the humor was a man grappling with cancer. Years of smoking led to lung and throat cancer. Despite treatment, his body gave out. Roger died on October 25, 1992, at age 56. The king of clever lyrics left us far too soon. 9. Charlie Louvin, a gospel-rooted legacy. Charlie Louvin's harmonies with his brother Ira helped shape early country and gospel. As a solo artist and Opry member, Charlie kept influencing generations. In 2010, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Despite surgery and treatment, the disease returned. He passed on January 26, 2011, at 83. His faith-filled music still echoes through every country church pew. 8. Dan Seals, from pop charts to country soul. Dan Seals made the leap from pop success to country icon with hits like Bop and Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold. Quiet and kind off stage, he faced non-Hodgkin's lymphoma with the same calm dignity. After initial success with treatment, the cancer returned. He passed on March 25, 2009, at age 61. His grave lies close to his brothers in Nashville, a place of musical peace. 7. Charlie Rich, the Silver Fox's sudden end. Charlie Rich blurred the lines between country, jazz, and blues. Songs like Behind Closed Doors captured emotions few could express. In 1995, while on a road trip, Charlie fell ill. After receiving antibiotics, he continued traveling, only to die in his sleep that night from a pulmonary embolism. He was 62, an artist who defied definition, gone in a heartbeat. 6. Jim Ed Brown, a gentleman and a star. Jim Ed Brown rose to fame with his Sisters in the Browns, then soared as a solo act and duet partner with Helen Cornelius. In 2014, he was diagnosed with lung cancer. His optimism never faded, but the disease returned. He passed on June 11, 2015, at 81. His voice remains a cornerstone of country radio and the Opry stage. 5. Holly Dunn, the voice of Daddy's Hands. Holly Dunn brought tenderness to country with songs like Daddy's Hands. Her lyrics often touched on love, family, and faith. In 2016, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer already advanced. She entered hospice and passed on November 14, 2016, at just 59. Quietly, she exited, but not without leaving a legacy of strength and grace. 4. Johnny Paycheck, the rebel with a raspy voice. Known for Take This Job and Shove It, Johnny Paycheck gave voice to working-class frustration. But his lifestyle took its toll. Diagnosed with emphysema and other lung complications, he spent his final years out of the spotlight. On February 19, 2003, he passed at 64. His name still resonates with defiant honesty. 3. Doug Supernaw, a brief flame that still burns. Doug Supernaw touched hearts with I Don't Call Him Daddy, a raw look at divorce and fatherhood. After vanishing from the spotlight, he returned in 2016, only to be diagnosed with stage 4 lung and bladder cancer in 2019. He passed away on November 13, 2020, at 60. A star who left quietly, but meaningfully. 2. Boxcar Willie, the train singer with a golden heart. With his worn-out overalls and old-timey charm, Boxcar Willie made audiences smile. His songs about railroads and small-town America were homespun treasures. But leukemia took him down in the late 1990s. He passed away on April 12, 1999, at 67. He was laid to rest without fanfare as he wanted simple like his songs. 1. Billy Thundercloud, a voice for his people. Billy Thundercloud wasn't just a singer. He was a trailblazer, a cultural ambassador, and a powerful voice for indigenous pride within the country music world. As the charismatic frontman of Billy Thundercloud and the Chieftains, often called Canada's All-Indian Band, he broke barriers and brought Native heritage to center stage in a genre that had long overlooked indigenous voices. Born as Vincent Clifford in 1948 and proudly a member of the Gixon Nation, Billy grew up in British Columbia. His early years were deeply influenced by tribal traditions, storytelling, and the rich musical history of his people. But he didn't just carry his ancestry, he infused it into his sound. When he stepped on stage, dressed in full regalia, he wasn't putting on a show, he was making a statement. Indigenous people had stories worth hearing, and country music was the perfect place to tell them.